Sup Squares, and welcome to episode 14 of my Wonder Wheel series, where we let the wheel decide what game I will play for on the NSO. In this episode, we have Kid Icarus for this Nintendo Entertainment System that came out in 1986. My history with the game series, well, to my knowledge, there's only been two Kid Icarus games. The one that originally came out in the 86, the one I played, and then Kid Icarus Uprising, which came out on 3DS 20-30 years later. So the game is clearly a dormant Nintendo series, so this will be my very first Kid Icarus game. For as far as my initial reaction to the game, I thought it was a pretty good game. I enjoyed what I played of it. So as far as the stories and characters are concerned, so basically you're playing as Pit. Yes, the same Pit that's in Smash Brothers. And you have to essentially rescue Underworld. You have to rescue Skyworld from Medusa, the main villain. And as far as getting into the gameplay, so as you go along, the beginning level gets, you grab upgrades and stuff, and you become a little stronger as you go along. So the game is actually kind of backwards from most games. The more you play it, the further you go along, the stronger you actually get, and the easier the game gets. As like most games usually starts off easy and goes hard. Kid Icarus is kind of the opposite, which is pretty unique for a game of that era, and games following just in general. Video games in general just usually follow that same path of start off easy, lead you into the game, and then start, testing your skill and mastery of whatever video game you're playing. So, in that aspect, I think the game is very unique. So, yeah, your goal is to get there's only, I think, there's 6 levels altogether. Well, 7 levels altogether if you count the final boss stage. So, one level that goes vertical. Next level is essentially a maze you have to go through. I would say like a Legend of Zelda style maze. Except you jump and stuff, and it's 2D versus top down. In each maze, there's a boss you gotta beat. After you beat that maze, you go to another vertical level. Essentially, you're basically going up. You're collecting sacred treasures as you essentially go up into Skyworld. And it just repeats vertical level, maze, boss, vertical level, maze, boss, vertical level, maze, boss. And then you play the final Medusa stage. When I first played the Medusa stage, when I played the Medusa stage, I was kind of confused because it seemed like the level just kept cycling over, and then come to find out, you have to defeat every single enemy that's within that stage. You have to completely kill all the enemies in the stage in order to basically fight Medusa. And the final stage is very different from the rest of the game. It's basically like an auto-scroll shooter, essentially. It auto scrolls, and then you basically just scroll Pit flying on the screen and shooting, essentially. So it plays very differently than the rest of the game, which is just a platforming game. You get different endings depending on how well you did, I guess. As far as points, how many enemies you defeated, how often you died, I guess. I'm not sure what the criteria is exactly for getting different endings, but the endings is basically at the end of the game, save the Skyworld, but then it tells you, well, Pit has to do it again because Medusa has attacked again. Essentially, I don't remember the exact wording, the ending paragraph on the game. I'll throw up on screen, show you what it says exactly to keep me honest. But essentially, you beat the game, and if you didn't do good enough, you restart the game over with your same stats that you ended with, essentially, and you go through the game again, which I would imagine each subsequent playthrough probably gets easier as you go through, because you get stronger if you keep your power-ups and whatnot. So, again, very unique in that way. I mean, the game does have replay value, technically speaking, because you're playing the game over and over again until you get the final ending, I guess. But I guess if you get the final ending, there's really no point to replay the game, so I guess the game does have replay value to an extent. Just, I didn't care to do all that and replay the game multiple times just to get the true ending. I normally don't. So as far as my verdict for the game, I'll definitely give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really great game. And then to rank it, definitely an A. I'll give it an A. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and stay square.